Hello and welcome back to Deniz.Talks.Football. What a match week this was. Match week 2, the week is flying by. I feel like we just got done with match week 1. It was a great match week. We were able to see lots of teams doing what I predicted they were able to do, what I didn't predict they were able to do. It was a great league week, and it's time we talk about it. So let's start off with Match week 2, first game on Friday night, which was Chelsea versus West Ham at the London Stadium. In my predictions, I did say that this was going to be a routine win for Chelsea. They were able to get the job done, 5-1. It was a bit shaky at the start in the low block with Paqueta scoring an unbelievable goal. I think it might be goal of the weekend, if not contender for goal of the season, because that was an absolute screamer. That no chance of Sanchez getting anything onto that. But Chelsea were able to respond really well. I was scared through the injury of Cole Palmer that we weren't going to be able to produce through the pockets in behind, which is why I wanted the signing of Xavi Simons to be done before the game. But by the time we're recording this video, it still hasn't been done, and we've been linked to Fermin Lopez. But this isn't a news video. This is a game week reactions video. In the end, I do think Chelsea were able to bounce back really well from the struggles of match week 1, and people are back onto them as title contenders, because there's a lot of reactionary views going on through the league right now. About one game could change this, 2 games could change that. What they're going to do the next game is. But Maresca, I've always liked the fact that he goes game by game through these sorts of things. He gets the message through to the fans, to the team, to the facility, that he's going to go game by game, and he really wants the team to go one by one and not think about the large scope of the season, which is what I think will make Chelsea a really strong team this year. Where they came short last year is where they're going to come close this year, and I was really able to see what they were able to produce on Friday night with a convincing victory. Joao Pedro making his name on the mark with goal and 2 assists actually. 3 goals from corners as well. I haven't seen Chelsea score from 3 corners in one game in a long time. Enzo obviously was much better, but he gets a lot of criticism when he's not playing well, which I feel like is a kind of a scapegoat thing. Estevao, really good attitude to come in, not be selected into the starting 11, but still be ready for any sudden changes like what happened to Cole Palmer, and he was able to really facilitate on that right wing better than I think Neto was able to do last weekend. So I think he's a mainstay in the team now, and he should be starting no matter if Cole Palmer is on the team or not. Delap, I think, was kind of under the radar. I do think he did some key plays. He was able to really facilitate the team sometimes. I don't think that he was able to really get some shots off, similar to what Gyökeres was last weekend. But I'm still confident in Delap. I don't think he'll be a flop in any way. I'm really confident in him, and I did like the lineup that Maresca went with. I was a bit shocked at first. I think most people were, to see both Joao Pedro and Delap in there. But it's interesting to see what that lineup would have been like with Cole Palmer had he been there. So it's interesting. I mean, as I did say in my prediction, I did think it was going to be a routine win for Chelsea, and I think it's a routine win. It was a routine win, so I don't think there's much else to be said other than that. And moving on to Saturday, we had in my opinion, the second game of the weekend, because the first game of the weekend happened yesterday on Monday. I mean, what a cracker that was. Manchester City versus Tottenham at the Etihad. Wow. Manchester City were really turning heads that they should be in title conversations. after the Wolves game. But then again, it is Wolverhampton Wanderers, which is why I wasn't fully convinced on them. And this is what happens. I mean, last year they lost 4-0 at the Etihad, and this year they lose 2-0 to Tottenham. And this Tottenham side is slowly getting on people's radar. I mean, they put in a really class performance. I think Paulinho was absolutely brilliant. Kudus obviously is going to do numbers for you game in, game out. But what they did really showcase was that they played really well against PSG. Burnley, okay, it's a newly promoted team, but then again, it's still a strong side. No hard games in the Premier League. And then Manchester City at the Etihad. That is a result that I feel like are going to turn some people's heads and put them into title conversations or put them into the strength. But the thing that I really am not convinced by Tottenham is, the first thing, I've never really been convinced by Manchester City this season because I do think that they need to gel. I looked at their starting lineup. It's only 3 players that are the same from their treble-winning side. 3 players. And it's only been two or 3 years, I think. That team needs time to gel. They're not. It's similar to what happened to Chelsea, and not I'm saying this because I'm a Chelsea fan, but you're gonna need time when you're gonna spend all that money. Let's be real, Manchester City, Liverpool, they've spent so much money over the past season, especially in January. Manchester City brought in a lot of players. They're not gonna fit in right away, especially into a Pep Guardiola team. Pep Guardiola likes to be tactical. He likes to be strict, stiff. He only lets a few players be as free as they would usually like to be. More so Shirky, Marmoush, these are players that usually are able to do whatever they want, fill into the pockets, get in there, switch out with the striker, with the right winger, go in, switch out, come deep, go high. Pep Guardiola does not let all of his players do that. Maybe 1 or 2, like Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva, Bernardo Silva used to do. That's why I do think players like Shirky, who seem to have conversations about their discipline, are not going to be as impactful straight away as some people are making it out to be. Which is why I'm also not overestimating Tottenham to an extent that, oh my God, they should be in title conversations, although it is a great result against a very, very good side. Then again, this is a new look Manchester City, and I don't think that Guardiola is going to be here in a couple of years. He seems tired. It's the second rebuild of Manchester City. The first one was almost 8-9 years ago when he first came into the team. But the whole team is changing, and I don't think he's mentally ready for that. But then again, he is the greatest manager of all time, so what do I know? Also, Tottenham under Ange 2 years ago. Let's not forget that they were in first place, looking unbeatable for about until December or November. That team looked very, very, very strong. And then what happened? It all capitulated and they got top 5. This is why I'm not convinced with Tottenham, because although it's a new team, it's a new manager, it was the same thing under Ange, new team, new manager. That's why I'm not really trying to see it's not that I'm not trying to see, I'm not really getting aboard on this train of let's go Tottenham again, because it is only 3 games if you count the PSG game, which I do think they played well, but let's not say they outclassed them. Which is why I do believe that Tottenham will still get 5th or 6th or 7th, because they don't have that consistency or the DNA into the team. That's also somewhat of a new team with a new manager who need to get used to this. Obviously, this is a great result for them, but I'm trying not to be overreactionary with the team still has a lot of work to be done. They're not going to go undefeated. They're not going to win every single game. Thomas Frank even said that we're going to lose games. Obviously, he's getting the fans behind them with these results, making the fans confident in their style of play, the way the team is playing. But I'm not still convinced with what Tottenham or Manchester City have to offer into the title race. But I do think Manchester City will still get a hold of things. Tottenham is obviously a good team, and you're not always going to get results against them, but 2 years back-to-back embarrassments is not something that Pep Guardiola, Manchester City, or any of the players would be happy about. The next game is Arsenal Arsenal obviously won 5-0 against Leeds in the first home game of the season. Gyökeres doing the little flick with his hair. This was a routine game for Arsenal, similar to how this was a routine game for Chelsea, winning 5-1, 5-0. You can see that both teams really had a comfortable end, but similar to the start that Chelsea had with West Ham, Arsenal did start very, very slow, and they only were able to break the deadlock with a set piece. And I was thinking, how are they going to get this goal? How is this goal going to facilitate into the game? Then again, they did find a way, and you're seeing that these are one of the best set piece teams I've ever seen personally in my life. They're a real threat to score on a set piece every single time, it seems. That's really, really dangerous in a league like this, with the defense being absolutely immaculate, and them not really needing to have such good of an offense that an attack that they can just score off a set piece. I mean, Urian Timber got man of the match with two goals, an assist, or 2 assists and a goal. I think it was 2 goals and an assist, if I'm not mistaken. But they just know how to operate with these set pieces. They're making them seem like penalties. If you think about it, whenever Arsenal have a corner, it will be similar to a penalty because they score almost every single time. This is why people love this Arsenal side. But then again, if you saw the first 30 minutes, you'd be really unconvinced with what they had to offer, because the team, it's not really like a free-flowing team similar to what they were 2-3 years ago in that 22-23 season. They've kind of somewhat dropped down into a more defensive shape that only goes up in some weird positions. But I think they will be a strong side, and they will be in the title race, not through their lack of quality, but through their lack of end products besides set pieces. But they do look really dangerous. And again, Saka got injured, which is really unfortunate, but they did just get Eze, so I think they'll move Madueke to that side. And as a Chelsea fan, I'm never really convinced on Madueke, but I do think Eze will be amazing. So it's interesting to see how Eze will come into the team, and how Saka will come back into the team after his prolonged injury, I'm assuming. The other games on Saturday were Burnley, Sunderland. Obviously, relegation, or not really relegation, but sort of bottom half table clash. I think you were able to see Sunderland's quality against West Ham, but then again, West Ham has a goal difference of 7 already, -7 already into 2 games, so they're not really a convincing team to judge it by. Then again, Burnley did score 2 amazing goals, in my opinion, but I didn't really focus too much on that game, so I can't really comment that much. Bournemouth and Wolves. I think Wolves will get relegated this year. They're not really a convincing team. Not too much to say about that one either. Bournemouth getting a result, which was good after they should have got something against Liverpool last weekend. So I'm happy to see Bournemouth being able to do something. I'm scared a little bit for Aston Villa. That was a game that I did watch. They did not look to have any end products in their team. And Brentford is supposed to be a team that's in the bottom half of the table. Then again, they're proving everyone wrong, even after they lost their manager, Mbeumo, Christian Nagard, and I think Wissa played, but they will lose him too. So it's interesting to see. Aston Villa need to pick it up a little bit. They were a little shaky against Newcastle, and we thought Newcastle wasn't going to be as good as well, but then we saw how Newcastle played on Monday. Wow. I'll get to that later. But I think Aston Villa need to step it up, and I do think they have quality, so I'm not too worried about them. Sunday's games, I wasn't able to look at the Crystal Palace game, but I was able to watch the Everton game. Wow, Everton. I mean, Brighton is a really good side as well, but Jack Grealish really showing how when he's not in a Pep Guardiola team that restricts him to the wing, and he's free and he's able to do what he wants, dribble on the ball, little shimmy, he's able to facilitate, and he can be the star man. He can be the man that you look for to change the game. 2 assists in his home debut for Everton at the new stadium, and a really statement result for Everton against Brighton, who's a really, really underrated and strong side. So I do think that's a statement for Everton. They're going to be that team that the top teams, when they go against Everton, they're not going to be looking for 3 points in an easy way. They know they're going to have to fight for those 3 points. I mean, Goodison was kind of like a bogey arena for Chelsea. Hopefully not the new stadium, but Everton is going to be a side that's going to cause a lot of teams problems this year, and maybe even somewhat break into the top 10. I don't want to be overreactionary because they did lose to Leeds, but again, that was a penalty. Yeah, I'm excited to see what Everton do this year, actually. Brighton, I mean, really, it's going to be hard to lose a win on a team's first game in the new stadium with the fans really backing them and new energy around it. I'm not really too bothered by what Brighton were able to offer. It was kind of Everton's day. Brighton were really just living in it. Next, I got United. I think United is really unlucky, man. I'm somewhat convinced with what they're able to do. They look like they do have a good project going on, but then again, these things take time. It's not going to gel. It's not going to work. Amorim, it's his first full season in the club. So we got to give him time. These things take time. Time is of the essence. Time is money. With patience comes virtue. Patience is a virtue, as they say. Results will come for this team. I think they will break into the top 5 like I predicted. I'm convinced they should have got a result with the Arsenal game. They should have got a result today. It's just unlucky. They just need to learn how to push the result even if it's not working out for them, similar to what Liverpool are able to do, which kind of pisses me off, but we'll get to that. United, Cunha could have scored a hat-trick, to be honest. I mean, he brought the ball down really well for the goalkeeper when he kicked it up, Altay. It's unlucky, Leno. Really great save, the one where he hit the post, and I forgot the third one. But it's just unlucky. I don't think that he's missed them. I think the goalkeeper's just saved them, and he's hit the post. I mean, I think United will still hold their heads high a little bit. Obviously, they would have wanted their first win, but it's okay. The season is just starting, and they should look forward to what's gonna go on. Now, oh my God, we get into the final game of the season yesterday. Final game of the season. What? Final game of the match week on Monday, the game of the weekend, if not the game of the season so far, even though it's only been 2 weeks. Wow. The battle for Isak, as I like to say. This is just a legendary game. I mean, this will go on down in history. One of the most physical games in the past few years. Really, the fans riling up. Great atmosphere at St James's Park. Wow. Again, Liverpool getting the result at the last minute. You're going to question, this happened twice now in a row. They didn't look convincing against Crystal Palace. They've conceded 6 goals in the past 3 games. There's 2 goals every game. Is this Liverpool team really going to live up to the hype? What are they going to do? I'm not convinced. I said last week this Liverpool team did not deserve 3 points. I'm saying that if this week this Liverpool team did not deserve 3 points. They didn't even maybe deserve 1 point. They deserved 1 point from the Bournemouth game, but they did not deserve 3 points, if not 1 point. Anthony Gordon kind of sold the team a little bit there. Gravenberch's goal was really against the run of play. I mean, let's just know that this Liverpool team knows how to get it done, but can they get it done for the whole season? I mean, yes, they did get the job done. It's a results-based sport. How often are you going to win in the 100th minute? How often are you going to win in the 90th minute? It's not going to happen. That's not how it works. Liverpool don't look convincing, man. I have to be honest. I have to be real. Verts not really putting in numbers. Salah, I mean, he gets an assist. He scores a goal, but what is he doing for the whole game? I mean, these things aren't adding up. I think Gakpo and Ekitike look really good, really sharp. Gravenberch coming into the team was really helpful. I think Szoboszlai wasn't even that bad at right back. But the defense is really, 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 really shaky. I'm not convinced by Kirkes. I'm just not really feeling the excitement around this team. I mean, I don't understand what they're able to offer. I don't really feel like I'm convinced by them. And that's the thing. I mean, Newcastle played really well, despite not even having Isak. I think if they had Isak in the team with a motivation to score against Liverpool, Isak would have netted a hat-trick today. I mean, how many times are they putting balls into the box, keepers getting them, defenses kicking them out for corners, throw-ins? Isak is that presence that they need. And Newcastle should have won this game. They should have won this game. They came back in from 2-0. They should have been up 3-0 before half time and let you know they're down 2-0 at the start of the half. Funny way how this sport works, but then again, Liverpool did Liverpool things, but I don't think they're able to carry this on. I'm just not convinced by what they're able to do. A lot of players need to step up, which is why I'm not really convinced. That's why I think Chelsea will win the league. But it's not about Chelsea winning the league. It's about Liverpool not really looking convincing enough. And I think their test against Arsenal, despite being home and Arsenal being away, I think Arsenal I think Arsenal will win, and I think the Arsenal will win comfortably. You saw Liverpool struggling against 10 men. How are you going to let that happen? It should not be happening. How is this championship side going to concede 6 goals in 3 games with this new look team? It's just not. I'm not convinced, man. But then again, the team also needs time to gel. You can't use double standards. But I'm just not convinced with this team. You're not going to score last minute winners every single game. It just doesn't happen like that. But they still got the job done. Rio, ex-Chelsea prodigy, with a wonderful finish. I mean, that's just absolutely unbelievable. 16 years old. Wow. I mean, I wouldn't be able to do a finish like that first time in St. James's Park. Wow, that is unbelievable right there. Premier League is in safe hands, as they say. But that was my match week reaction to match week 2. It was a lovely match week. Really excited to see the Premier League back again. Wonderful to see matches week in, week out. And then we got the international break, so 2-week break. But it's okay. Love talking to you guys. Cheerio.